Hey there, good Saturday morning. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm meteorologist Alexis Clemens here at NBC Connecticut in our weather lab. Oh, you see my Taylor Swift water bottle. I'll get that out of the way just so we can focus on what's going to be happening because we've got some changes to the forecast that I wanted to discuss with you all. We're going to be talking about the 40s today, a little chance for snow on Sunday night. The big thing, though, is kind of an active week ahead. So we'll go ahead and jump right on into it. Let me see if I can grab. There we go. All right. So temperatures for Valentine's Day today, we're in the 40s. So ask any questions, of course, as you have them as well. But I'll kind of go through what we've got so far. So the 40s for today, we're seeing a good amount of cloud cover out there, but we will have peaks of sunshine as the day goes on. But what we're monitoring is a system that's already starting to form. And I'll go ahead and show you that in our current satellite and radar once that loads. It's a big system, actually. And you can even see, let me go ahead and grab my little pointer here, wherever it may be. Here it is. So what I'm watching here, as you can see from, was that Southwest Missouri down through Texas, that is a line of thunderstorms that is developing there on the 14th of February there. So very interesting setup here. But a large system is putting itself together over the middle part of the country, and it's going to track to the east. But it's already getting further north than we'd originally anticipated, all the way up to Iowa. Look at that, even a little bit into southern Minnesota. So that's giving us a good indication that part of it will impact us tomorrow night. Most of the system's going to stay to our south, really impacting more of like the DC area, the mid-Atlantic, but here in southern New England, we could see a little bit of snow from it. So I'll go ahead and step you through what we're watching right now and just kind of how it's tracking across the country. So that system, I think our future radar is doing a really good job of showing what it's doing right now. That precipitation, some pretty hefty thunderstorms for parts of the south later on today and even into tomorrow as well. We just got varying cloud cover here and there as we go through Saturday and Sunday. Honestly, not a bad weekend out there, especially with the high of 40 today. That should be the first time we lift into the 40s since January 22nd, which is crazy to think that's only been 3 weeks. It feels like much longer than that, 23 days ago. So here's what we're kind of watching right now. So after about 9 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to see some snow move in. Most of this system stays to our south. That's where the heaviest of the snow is going to stay anyway. So here it is, stepping through. You can just see the bulk of this system stays to our south, but enough moisture is going to be nearby. All the right ingredients are nearby to provide a little bit of snow as we go into a Monday morning. So it's really from about 9 p.m. Sunday to 9 a.m. Monday that we're kind of watching here. So we'll see that snow kind of linger, and then it moves on out of here. So everybody in Connecticut has a chance to see a little bit of snow, but I'll tell you right now, the highest totals are going to be to our south. I know people are starting to comment now, bring on the warmer weather, more snow. Oh no, I know. It's not a lot though. I mean, take a look at this graphic here from the Weather Prediction Center. I think this tells the best story here. Most of this system that we're tracking across the country is rain. It's thunderstorms, but temperatures here are going to be just close enough to that freezing mark to where it would develop a little bit of snow. But it's a wet, heavy snow. If you recall a couple weeks ago, that big snowstorm that we saw, that was a dry snow that accumulates super, super quickly. Wet snow doesn't really do that. It's heavier to remove because it's a wet, heavy snow. But as for amounts, it's not much. And the probability of an inch or more of snow is only at about 40% over towards like Long Island and New York. So we're really only expecting, if I had to put a forecast out, and we're going to watch for one more model run before we do that, but our forecast right now, I'm thinking a dusting to 2 inches at best. And I think this graphic does a really good job of showing where that at best area is, that chance for 2 inches of snow. It's going to be further south, the shoreline, where they're kind of seeing where they're a little bit closer to that system. It's not a huge system by any means, but it is something that has changed in the forecast. That's why we're hopping on here to tell you all about that. It's also a weekend. We've got Olympics coverage on, and we've got time to kind of talk about it. So not a huge deal here, but something you'll notice. And it's into Monday morning. I think a lot of people have that off for work and school. So I guess good news there. There you go. I know a lot of kids like the snow days, though. And it's fun. It was fun back in the day. I remember. I don't get snow days anymore, though. I wanted to show you another graphic that I think tells the story very well, because I want to show you the temperatures alongside this system, because it's a little bit different. So here's what's going on for today. 40s, looking really nice. If we hit 40 at Bradley International Airport, that'd be the first time they have seen the 40s in 23 days. So we'll take it, right? And it's going to get even warmer at times this week. We'll talk about that in a second. But temperatures in the 20s tonight. Not a bad night out there. Great for Valentine's Day. I'm thinking about, because I work weekends, right? The last several weekends have not been fun. Snow, cold, it's been tough to get outside, but this weekend's really great. And a lot of people have it off, and I'm glad that we've got some good weather for that. I'm thinking of like the ski slopes, stuff like that, right? And if we add a little bit of snow tomorrow night into Monday, not a bad thing for them, but it might be a little tough for all of us who have to clean it up afterwards. It's not a lot that we clean up, but still that work that we have to do. Temperatures in the 20s tonight. I think we're going to be in the upper 30s, low 40s again for Sunday. Again, we're calling it just waves of cloud cover, right? It's a little cloudy outside in West Hartford. I can tell just by our windows right behind us, but we'll see some sunshine as the day goes on, just kind of waves of clouds and then some sun. Same thing for tomorrow. So here's this system here. Let's go ahead and back up a little bit. So by 9 o'clock, we start to see the snow move in. Take a look at all those temperatures. They're at or just below freezing. Remember, freezing is 32 degrees, right? So we're at or just below freezing here. So that already tells me that this is going to be a wet snow. And I'll post something tomorrow kind of differentiating the two. But the snow that we saw from that big snow system, what was that snowstorm 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Time is crazy. I guess it was 3 weeks ago. That was a dry snow, and that's why it accumulated so quickly. It's that snow that you can use in your snow blower. Very simple. You can grab it. It's very fluffy, right? You can't really compact it very well. This is the opposite. That wet snow easily can make a nice little wet snowball, make a snowman, but it doesn't really amount to much because it compacts very quickly. So that's kind of what we're watching. And we're going to be watching those temperatures, because even as we step through into Monday morning here, temperatures don't drop a whole lot. And if we're in the mid to upper 20s into the low 30s for those temperatures, that's still going to lead to a nice wetter snow. So that should lead to some lower totals for us. So somebody said, good thing I flew to Miami last night. I'm jealous. That sounds awesome. I hope you have a great time. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you won't have to clear too much off the vehicle when you come back. But we're just going to track that snow by about 9 a.m. It's just about out of here. Might linger in parts of eastern Connecticut, but 9 p.m. Sunday to 9 a.m. Monday, we're going to be tracking a little bit of this snow. If you think that is the only precipitation chance this week, that is incorrect. We've got quite the setup these next couple of days. So let me go ahead and jump into one of our models just to kind of show you what's going on here, because it's going to be an interesting week because of the setup that we've got going on right now. So let me go ahead and just make sure that this is all good to go for us. So we'll start right now and we'll go through. Okay. All right. So here we go. Bear with me. So we've got this little snow chance, and zooming out again, you can also just see the core stays over like the outer banks of North Carolina, right? It stays far away, but that moisture stretches just far enough to provide a little bit of snow for southern New England. This is for Sunday night. And it gets really strong out to sea, as you can tell there. All right, let's take a look at what's next. This is Wednesday here. Wednesday that we're kind of watching this. And here, let me go ahead and just put back on this part so you can kind of see what's going on here. So Sunday night into Monday, there's that. Tuesday looks fantastic. Got to tell you right now, well into the 40s for high temperatures. And here comes Wednesday. All right, that's one forecast model showing some rain, but that rain snow line is not far away. And our other forecast model shows that it's kind of right over us. So that could be interesting. Keep an eye on Wednesday for sure. Potentially briefly dry on Thursday before maybe another system by Friday. So that's kind of what we're watching here, just back-to-back systems. So I'm going to go ahead and go back for you again. So Wednesday, a little dry on Thursday, and then Friday. That's kind of what we're watching. And with temperatures hovering around the freezing mark, it can be a little bit of a headache. So that's what we're monitoring. I think this graphic, though, does the best job of explaining what we're watching here. We got a couple questions. Let's answer those real quick. How many inches for Sunday into Monday? We're thinking 1 to maybe 2. It's not a big system, but it is a different snow consistency here. We're talking a wet, heavier snow instead of that dry, fluffy snow that we have been seeing. So 1 to maybe 2 inches into Monday morning. Somebody says, good morning from New London. So talking about the snow. No snow tonight. It's going to be Sunday night into Monday morning. So 9 p.m. Sunday to 9 a.m. Monday is kind of the time frame there. And like I said, a coating to about 2 inches, most likely there. 2 inches, though, is kind of the high end. It's not a huge system for us, but something you'll notice, and it'd be a wetter snow. So let's talk about what's changing. The last few weeks, how we have been in a very, very cold air mass, right? It's been Arctic air that we have been dealing with, polar air, right? It's been one of the coldest stretches that we've seen in a very long time. I think it was the coldest start to the year since 1994. I have to look that up. I know we have it somewhere, but just to give you an idea, it is going to be rather chilly. Somebody said, I thought Monday was supposed to be in the 40s. So it is. That's the best part. Monday's still going to be in the 40s, and but we've got snow. It's that timing. That's everything. And Sunday night, Monday morning, temperatures will dip into the upper 20s, right? Because we cool down overnight. It's that timing, right? So it moves out of here. That snow moves out of here very early on Monday, and then we still warm to like 41. I think 42 degrees is what I have for us. So interesting, right? This time of year is interesting. And this is the reason why. What's on your screen right now is what we call the jet stream. And what you need to know about that is basically it controls our weather. Honestly, that's the easiest way to put it. It controls our weather because where it ends up, it tracks that snow, or it tracks any storm systems wherever they go. They like to follow the jet stream because that's where all the air is moving, right? Somebody said the snow is just going to melt. I agree. It's a wet snow, and it's probably not going to last very long. Tuesday is going to get up to like 46, 47 degrees. So it's going to be interesting. So your storm track here is going to depend on where the jet stream is, and that's setting up right into southern New England here. So what that's also going to do for us is, and this is the time of year, when we start the transition from winter into spring. We're not into spring yet. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But when we start that transition, we see our jet stream starting to move north or south, right? So in this particular case, since we're trying to move into spring, our jet stream wants to move north. That would bring us that warmer air, more of a spring-like feel, right? But because that jet stream is sitting right over southern New England, we'll be kind of wavering between that warm and cool air. At least we're not in the Arctic air anymore. I'll tell you that. At least we've gotten past that. And I think I can safely say that the coldest air of the season is behind us. And I'm okay with that. Negative 30 degrees for a wind chill was not a fan. I think that's behind us. Winter's not done, though. And we're going to see the chance for a few different storm systems over the week. So if you have any questions, of course, please ask for sure. But I think this just kind of tells the story. And I'll show you your 10-day forecast just to show you how interesting this week is. It's just a very different weather setup than what we have seen these last 3 weeks. And it's though what they say, it's be careful what you wish for, right? Because I'm like, because last week I was like, please, please, please get us out of this extremely cold air, and we did. It comes at a price, right? So we're at 41 for a high temperature today, pretty close to that tomorrow. Then that snow Sunday night into Monday morning. I don't really think it impacts that much, especially since a lot of people are off. But if you do have a Monday morning commute, and maybe plan just a little bit of extra time. I don't think anybody wants to talk about that on a Saturday, though. But Tuesday looks absolutely gorgeous. I know a lot of kids had that off for their winter break. Looks beautiful, 46 degrees there. Somebody says, we need the snow gone so we can get to yard work. I would agree. We actually have started a bet here in the weather department on when all the snow is going to melt, because we still have, I believe, a 10 or 11 inch snow depth for a lot of especially inland Connecticut, like up at Bradley. I think they've got a 10 or 11 inch snow depth. So I'm thinking, fingers crossed, I'm thinking that the snow will melt by St. Pat's Day. That's my guess there. I think Steve and Ryan were a little more optimistic in early March, but I'm hoping we're lucky by St. Pat's Day. But we got a lot of snow on the ground, right? And that all came from 3 weeks ago. So it's going to take a while, and we've got the chance this week, but you'll notice as those temperatures start to rise, we're going to be hovering around everything. Makes our jobs a little bit more difficult because we have to monitor what types of precipitation we're talking about here. And unfortunately, all different types of precipitation are in play for Wednesday and for Friday. So right now, and we all know how weather changes, right? Somebody said we still have at least 14 to 16 inches in Eastford. Oh, I bet. We've got a lot on the ground here. And I know crews are tired too, right? Our snow plow crews and those that clean the sidewalks and stuff, they do such a great job. And it'll be nice to move on. And we've seen a lot of melting over the last couple of days, but we'll add about an inch, maybe two, tomorrow night into Monday. It really doesn't look like much. The shoreline has your best chance for it, I will say. I did add inland Connecticut to snow chance as well, just because I think we can see at least a little bit from it, maybe a dusting. But I will say the best chance for snow and the best chance to get up to 2 inches would be at the shoreline there for Sunday night into Monday. Remember, that's 9 p.m. to 9 a.m., 9 p.m. Sunday to 9 a.m. Monday. Tuesday looks fantastic, though. I mean, we're talking highs in the 40s, a lot of melting, a lot of sunshine there. I would get out and enjoy that because those changes are on the way. Just back-to-back systems here as we go into Wednesday and Friday. Thursday, I think, is kind of the in-between day. We might see like a little bit of moisture from Wednesday's system early on the day and a little bit of moisture from Friday's system late in the day, if you know what I mean, because we've got these back-to-back systems here. Somebody asked, how much snow for these midweek storms? I'm really thinking it's more of a rain mix kind of system. So that just shows you how much we're warming up here. Right now, what we're kind of watching is, you'll notice Wednesday, we've got a high of 41. I think it's more of a rain into a wintry mix kind of system. So I'm not really dealing with snow. And again, this is 5 days out. This is my thinking right now, just based on how things are tracking. Thinking Wednesday's more of a rain to a mix system. Wintry mix isn't very fun, but it's something that we'll watch, and it would likely, accumulate a little icy on that snow, right? So we'll keep an eye on that. Friday, I think it gets a little bit cooler. Then I dropped that high to 39 on Friday. I think that one could produce a little bit of snow. But because I'll tell you right now, because temperatures are on the warmer side, in the 30s to even near 40 degrees, that's a wet snow, and automatically you typically don't see super high snowfall totals with temperatures that high. It's nothing like the snowstorm we saw 3 weeks ago. Temperatures then were like 10 degrees. Snow accumulates so quickly in cold temperatures. It's a dry snow, and that'll add up super quickly. This is a completely different setup here. So not too concerned about snowfall totals this week, but when it comes to impactful precipitation, that's still in play, especially when, freezing rain and sleet are in the question here, which is definitely a possibility for both Wednesday and Friday. So that's what we're going to be really watching closely. And it's funny when as a meteorologist, last weekend I'm like, please, please, please just get us out of this cold air. And we did, and we're like, finally a break. Not really though, because we've got a lot to forecast and a lot to really pay attention to this week, because there might be, these kind of back-to-back systems here Wednesday and Friday. So I would keep those on your radar right now. It's still just a little too far out to really figure out exactly what's going to be happening here, but something to really pay attention to. So thank you all again for all of your questions. If you have any more, please let me know. I'll go through everything kind of one more time, and then I'll let you go, and we'll do it all again on tomorrow, of course. But I hope you're having a fantastic Valentine's Day, whether you have a significant other or not, just anybody that, all of your loved ones. That's what Valentine's Day is all about, right? So those temperatures right now, it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning here as we're doing this live. Those temperatures right now are starting to warm up. We've got up to 32 in Bridgeport, Greenwich, and Chester. Looks like we're at 27 in Hartford and Windsor Locks. We'll continue to warm up as we go through the day, nearing 40, which would be the first time. Like I said, if we hit 40, or at least in the 40s at Windsor Locks there, Bradley International Airport, that'd be the first time in almost 3 weeks that we would be seeing the 40s. It doesn't feel like much longer though. I mean, it feels like it's been forever since we've seen some milder conditions, but it's only technically been 23 days. That is a long period of time. It just feels longer. I don't know. And here's this system setting up across Missouri, Oklahoma. Look at that. Texas dealing with some thunderstorm activity there. Might be even some severe weather. So this is a very dynamic system. A lot of moisture, a lot of energy to work with here. And it's just tracking a little too far north. Here it is. 9 p.m. Sunday. So you've got all day today, all day tomorrow, going to be just fine. And then 9 p.m. Sunday, here comes the snow. It looks like a lot from what I just showed you there. I mean, let's go ahead and back up to early Monday morning, right? That looks like a lot of snow. It's really not going to be though. And you can see the darkest of the blue that stays well south of us, south of Long Island even. So really still not expecting a lot with this system. And I think this graphic here does the best job of showing what we're looking at here. The best chance for 2 inches is going to be over the shoreline. The rest of us, less than that. It is a wetter, heavier snow, so a different consistency than the snow that we have been seeing, but still something that we are watching. So that is Sunday night into Monday morning, 9 p.m. Sunday to 9 a.m. Monday is that time frame there. And then here's the setup for next week. Busy is kind of just the word for it. Our jet stream sets up right across southern New England, and that is just going to allow for, if storms do form, which it looks like they're going to, they've got a lot of energy to work with and a track that leads right into southern New England. So that's what we're going to be watching there. That's why that chance for precipitation Wednesday and Friday look promising. And it's not snow really that we're watching here. Maybe a little bit of snow by Friday, but Wednesday looks honestly more of a rain to icy mix, which ice isn't fun either, right? When it comes to that freezing rain and sleet. So that's what we're going to have to watch for as we go into Wednesday and Friday. So again, another look at your 10-day forecast. We'll wrap this up here in just a moment, but just showing you again that 10-day forecast. So snow chances tomorrow night into Monday morning. Tuesday looks great though, 46 degrees. And then here comes that wintry mix Wednesday, another one on Friday, kind of back-to-back systems here. Thursday, I think, is the kind of in-between, right? So where we're a little dry, still cloudy, but finishing up Wednesday's system and then starting up Friday's system. And then we'll keep an eye on what happens next week. And I believe next weekend is the last full one of February. So there you go. 10-day forecast at the shoreline again, showing that snow chance Sunday night into Monday morning. And then again, we're going to watch 2 systems for you on Wednesday and Friday. So thank you all again for joining. We really appreciate it. Again, if you have any other questions, let us know. You can email us Also send in your reports. Send in any photos of you enjoying the holiday weekend. Getting outside. The slopes, I'm sure, are going to be packed this weekend. I've heard so many people are heading out there to enjoy. One, because it's a holiday weekend, and two, it's finally the first nice weekend in quite some time that's not extremely cold or, has a lot of snow. But remember, we're going to watch that snow chance tomorrow night into Monday morning. Otherwise, though, not a bad weekend. Highs in the 40s today, even warmer by Tuesday, and then we'll track 2 systems by the middle and end of this week. Thank you all again so much. Have a beautiful Valentine's Day. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you later.